So I wanted to pull a couple cards for couples and singles, a little daily love reading. And I've already pulled cards because it just takes so much time on camera. And I'm sorry if you can hear the little scratching and stuff. My cat is knocking papers and just going to town. So I have pulled cards from the Psychic Tarot Heart Oracle deck, the Romance Angel Oracle deck, and then the Tattoo Tarot deck, okay? So straight out of the gate, couples. You guys have gotten strengthening bonds. Now, a lot of us, because we're in the stay in place situation and we've been in our homes with our significant other, our partner, you know, it's either been one or two ways. One, we've literally wanted to probably kill them and it's not working out. We realize that this is really not the relationship that I need to be in, which is really sad because I'm sure it's been very heart-wrenching for a lot of people. So there are a lot of people that are moving on knowing that this is a relationship that needs to, it's run its course and it ends and I need to move on. But for those who have really taken this opportunity to get to know not only themselves but their partners, because all we've had is time, they're probably coming out a lot stronger, strengthening their bond as a couple and really knowing how they want to move forward together. Now, both of these people are probably very strong individuals, but together they're a powerhouse, okay? So strengthening bonds. Now, out of the gate for Romance Angels, you have love yourself first. Now, the one thing I really love about this card is that it reminds us as, you know, individuals, we need to always remember that putting ourselves first isn't a bad thing. It's not selfish. It's actually healthy. And I'm not saying go to the extreme and ignore and forget everybody else and their emotions and feelings, but I'm saying is that your cup needs to be full, because if it's not, then how can you give and love to others, you know, with your entire heart? It's very hard to do that. So don't forget that you're important and you need to put yourself first at times, and there's nothing wrong with that. It says, let your friends help you. Now, I'm not going to take this literal. I actually don't, when I get this card, I always think that it's spirit guides, angels, ancestors that are talking to you and through you and helping you work through things, maybe helping you articulate how to communicate a little bit more effectively. I'm not saying that this is about going and tell your friends about your marriage. I actually think that's an awful idea, and that's just my point of view. However, I am saying that if you are in need of guidance, and you know, if you want to get with a friend, that's one thing, but I would always say turn inward and always ask your angels and your spirit guides and your ancestors for help, because they have such a higher view and they can see things at a different point of view, right? So really special. And I also pulled cards from the Kepler deck. You guys got courtship. So to me, like I said earlier, this is an opportunity for couples who have really embraced this opportunity to get to know each other better and just, you know, almost elevate to a new level of commitment. That it's going to feel almost like you're in love again and you're courting again. Now, this isn't for everybody. Some of y'all want to tear each other's heads off and bury the body in the backyard. Now, I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm just saying that, you know, it's not for everybody. In the tarot, you guys got the 10 of Swords. Now, 10s are completions, and 10s, now, when I say this, I think the worst part is over. I think there's probably been some fights and some pretty serious and direct conversations that you probably have had to have, which have made you closer in the end. But initially, there's been some pretty hard things that y'all have had to work through and talk about and address, because we get on each other's nerves, but sometimes we're not always around each other to see it or to handle it or to experience it like we are now, because we're in a pandemic, okay? So what I'm saying is the worst is over with this, and that things are going to change at some point. We don't know when, but in the end, the Two of Cups is just this renewal. It's this really deep connection and partnership with another person, and it's going into things, you know, wholeheartedly, okay? So for you couples who are pulling through this, good for you. Good for you for doing the work, addressing things and addressing shit that you don't like, so you can say, you know what, I hate the way you breathe when you chew. Please don't talk to me while I'm watching my shows, or whatever the case is. There's all these things that are coming up that you guys are finally addressing, and it's making you stronger as a couple, okay? So singles, all right, you guys got confront. 1 plus 8 is 9. Now, if you look at this card, this is an individual standing on the outside, the green grass, you know what I mean? Clear as day, the sky's beautiful, the weather's warm, but he's looking deep down on this other side, this mirror of himself, kind of the shadow side. The shadow does not mean that it's the worst part of you, by the way. That's not what that means. It's things that we tend to sweep under the rug. It's the work that we don't always want to do. And it's things that we need to address to make us stronger as humans, and that we can ascend to a higher level of thinking. You have to address that stuff, right? So he's looking, and if you can see this beautiful moon, the moon illuminates things. It hides things. It doesn't put things out there clear as day like the sun does. So, you know, if we're just thinking about this, taking it one step, how people see us, you know, how we portray ourselves, kind of how your sun sign is. You portray a certain version of yourself, but people may not really know the deep part of you, deep parts in your soul, kind of that moon part of you that you don't share with everybody, right? So with us being single, this is asking us to confront those dark pieces of ourselves that we really do need to address to make us better, a better version of ourselves for the next relationship that we're in. Hello. No one wants to go into a relationship and experience the baggage from the other person. No one does. And that's not fair to do to anybody. So this is, I hate to use this term, but I can't think of anything else. To confront your demons. What are the things that you are scared of, that you fear, that you just push aside and act like nothing's wrong, but really there is some deep-rooted stuff that needs to be addressed. And I think the biggest thing here too is really asking ourselves, and I'm saying we because I am single and I have to do this as well. Are you really ready to go into a relationship? Are you really wanting to be in a relationship? And that is a valid question. And if you, for any point, think no, and that, you know, if your person were to come in tomorrow, would you want to jump into a relationship? Could you? Are you mentally there? Emotionally there? I'm not. I can tell you that. So everyone's going to have a different answer, but that's what I'm getting at. We need to figure out where we are in this process and really what we want. All right. So we got pay attention to the red flags. Now, one thing, I'm going to say this because I know a lot of people have been doing like online dating, or maybe you were dating kind of prior to this, you know, pandemic hitting, and kind of put a halt on things. So it's hard to physically be around people right now. But when I say look at the red flags, I'm also talking about within. We are not innocent, even though we like to think we're perfect. If we're not bringing our true, authentic self, that's wearing another mask, right? And to be very fair, if you meet someone or you're talking to someone and they give you that vibe, like you can't put your finger on it, that's a red flag. That's your intuition telling you something's not right. So maybe you need to address it and or move on. So, because people typically show you themselves pretty early on. It's just that we choose not to really pay attention, or we overlook it. Or like, that's just his quirkiness or her quirkiness. No. That's them telling you who they really are. Okay? So that's what I mean with red flags. Like, we need to always check within too. Not always worrying about other people. What do we need to work on? And what the vibes we're giving out. Next card from the Kipper is poverty. Now, to me, this just feels like more, we're down in the dumps emotionally. I think a lot of folks, including myself at times, sometimes we do get lonely. We do get a little sad. We do get like, I wish I could Netflix and cuddle or whatever. But then, you know, we also have to realize, like, is that just a temporary feeling, or am I going to be okay? Because no one wants to come off desperate or needy. That's not what we're doing. But I think with some folks, we're just kind of feeling a little down in the dumps. And yeah, we do have to work on ourselves. And we're just like, that's not the most funnest thing in the world to do. I don't know anybody that's like, yay, I have to clear all this shit out and really focus on my inner work and like get rid of the karmic stuff. I've never seen anyone do somersaults and get pumped about that. So I think, you know, we're going through this healthy process and kind of this like this detox, this soul cleansing detox. And it's okay to feel a little bit down in the dumps. It's all right. We'll bounce back. The tarot. Hanged Man. We're getting a sense of enlightenment. This is a neutral energy, the hangman is, and it's kind of like this stalemate of nothing's really moving or going anywhere. What you can see, though, is this person is hanging by his foot, but he seems very relaxed. His hands behind his back. You know, he has roses on the side of these poles. He's not struggling. But mentally, he's getting a new perspective. He's seeing things in a different light. And that is what we're going to be seeing within ourselves. Oh, I was probably part of the problem in that last relationship. It's easy to always think it's the other person, but it takes two, right? So it's that enlightenment that we're like, you know what? I do need to be more aware of that. Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords is this, and in reverse, by the way. Nine of Swords is kind of this wounded warrior effort that it's almost like I'm so tired. When is this journey going to end? And by the way, you're never done ascending. You're always, you know, trying to ascend to a new higher level of understanding. So it's not like we go through one, you know, energy shift and then we're like, oh, we're done. Oh, no. That's all ever changing. That's always evolving, right? Because we evolve. But the Nine of Swords is always talking about the person. It's almost just like you're almost there. You're almost at a completion. You're almost across the finish line. Don't give up. And in the reverse, we kind of realize, like, you know what? Maybe there is some light under the tunnel. Maybe there are some things that I'm starting to see that are potential and that, you know, I can do this and I can be better. And I am the creator of my destiny. And I am the person who determines my happiness on a day-to-day. So this is about not giving up. And you're so close. Don't give up. The Knight of Coins, now this could be the energy coming in. This could be, you know, it could be masculine or feminine. It's, to me, the tarot, it's neutral, so it doesn't matter the gender. But the Knight of Coins is actually the slowest knight in the deck. This is an individual, an energy that is very, very slow moving, very stable though, very methodical, not someone that is just going to rush in and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's not this energy. Then this particular knight is very conscientious. He's very strategic, or she. But this could be somebody that's coming in, or you, that is just taking your time because you know that you want to build something really strong. And what I'm getting at is I think there's a lot of singles that maybe at a point in their life where like, I'm not going to date to date. I'm going to date to marry, or I'm going to date to be with somebody long term, or, you know, whatever. So this is somebody that's really taking account on who they want to be with and what the life they're going to build. And, you know, is that in alignment? And are you on the same page? So this is definitely a slow moving energy, but one that's going to be sustainable for the future. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and then also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Same handle, Alchemist Tarot, and I do daily readings there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.